hands-on training, and then I worked in the Navy's lab making eyeglasses throughout the term of my enlistment. And then when I got out, I went into retail. I worked for Pearl Vision for about 8 years. And then I went into wholesale optical, so I got to learn the product side of the optical business. And then I went into this business I have now, which is repairing instruments that optometrists use for examining the eyes. That's what I really, truly love to do. And since I've always enjoyed making glasses, I've just kind of kept my hands in it a little bit, serving as a missionary in various countries around the world and here at home. And so I would make a lot of the glasses here. And doing that, I've met a few people, and a few people have asked me if I'd make them a pair of glasses, and I said I would. And that's how I met Becky.
And I said Eric.
And Eric. And I made a pair of glasses. I'm not a commercial concern. I'm just a private guy that is a licensed optician and can provide that service.
Tell me about those 3 O's again. I found that interesting because I didn't know what your license was actually, so I asked you. And
the 3 O's we refer to in the optical industry is ophthalmologists, optometrists, and opticians. Ophthalmologists are medical doctors, and they can do surgery, and they specialize in surgery of the eyes. And even in ophthalmology, it breaks down into even smaller categories, such as retinal problems or corneal problems or transplants or things like that. So they can even divide it down smaller. Optometrists are also doctors, although they specialize in the exam of the eyes. And they can not only do exam, but they can prescribe some limited medications for the eyeballs. And,
so like the eye drops, like if you scratch your cornea and that kind of stuff.
They can do some medications. They're limited, some. And then you have the opticians, and we're like the pharmacists of the optical industry. We fill the prescriptions. We can read, interpret them, the prescriptions, and we can then fabricate lenses and fit them in frames and fit the frames to the patient. And so that, in a nutshell, pretty simply put, is what the 3 O's are.
So the other night I'm watching a game show, and they had this word on the game show, and I had no idea what the game it was. And here, that eye chart there, as you see, as every doctor's office has a very specific name. Can you tell me what the name of that was? Just trivia here.
Yes, that chart is called a Snellen chart. And basically, a Snellen chart just gives the optometrist a rough idea of what the visual acuity of the patient is. By just reading certain lines, they can tell us whether they're 20/20 or 20/50. And all that means is that what a person could, an average eyesight could see at 20 feet, someone with less vision has to either stand closer or farther away to see the same image as a normal person. So it just gives us an idea of where that is. So
as a starting point.
If you're at 20 feet, at 20/50, then what that means is the person that's seen, it has to stand 20 feet to see the same thing a person with normal vision could see at 50 feet.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Now, they make these charts with pictures on for children, correct?
They do. They make it in a number of different styles. They make them in what's called Tumbling Ease, which is
I've seen that.
Shape that either stands up or it's on the side or down. And especially for those folks who have a hard time communicating what they see to the optometrist, they can describe it like that. In fact, we've used that on our missions in places where we didn't speak the language. We could just ask them, which direction does the
Ease stand
look?
So how many different countries have you gone to?
About 4.
About 4. And now you, like, last time I was here, I asked you if you wanted Eric's old glasses, and he said yes, I could use those in my mission fields. So if somebody has a collection of old glasses, could you use those?
What we do with glasses is important to understand that the prescriptions in the lenses is virtually non-usable in most situations. So we don't really use the lenses. But frames are quite often very usable. And so we can take the frame and give them to someone who is needy, needs them, and we can put brand new lenses in, which is what we do in our mission work. We would prefer to put the exact prescription of what the patient needs, because if we can have patients try on lenses, and yes, they might be able to see out of them, but not really well. And sometimes lenses can give you headaches if they're not set up right. So it is the mission field that I'm in, we prefer not to give out
the lenses,
pre-used lenses.
But you do the frames. But you can use the frames.
Frame, and we just make new lenses.
Okay, so when I was a little girl and I'm growing up, my mother always said not to wear anybody else's glasses because that would ruin your eyes. Is that true, or does it just give you a bad headache?
Won't ruin your eyes, but it could give you headaches.
Okay, and make you sick. And if you get a headache, you'd be throwing up and all that good fun stuff. Yes, no, so that's a fallacy that it won't ruin your eyes. But that kept me from wearing anybody else's glasses. So, okay, and what's your favorite country to go to?
Probably Jamaica.
Oh, really?
And the reason for that is that they have mostly English
speaking. Okay.
Their dialect is sometimes hard to understand.
Their accent.
We can at least communicate pretty well with them.
So it's not. So it's not for the free marijuana.
No, I've never done marijuana. Never done any kind of.
I've heard stories about Jamaica.
There's a lot down there.
Oh true. Yeah. I heard you could just walk by the beaches and have an enjoyable time.
Yes. I think that might be. I suppose you could say that at times. I've been to several resorts there, and we've never had that situation.
Okay.
But, and that, since I'm not involved in that area in any way,
right?
I don't even.
I just thought I'd throw that out there.
But,
so, can you give us an idea? Okay, I know how your prices compare. So, you have a large selection of older frames. They're brand new frames. Discontinued frames, and you sell those for $75 a pair?
That's correct. Just the frame is $75.
Just the frame, right. And that is your flat fee for those frames.
Correct.
And you have to charge tax on that too, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because you are an actual business. Okay, so those are $75 plus tax. And then the cost of the lenses would depend on the prescription.
And they vary what features you decide to put on them. I think that was one of the things we talked about earlier,
right.
That some of the folks you deal with have gone through various programs and organizations, but they offer limited amount of options.
Okay.
Though I offer all the options that are there, I do have to charge for them, and I do it. I usually find out what the lens is going to cost, and then I generally mark it up a small amount. It's not large, but it's a small amount because we have to pay for something.
And you don't cash a person's check until the glasses come in and you fit them and you make sure they're the right fit for them. You've done that for us several times. So to give you an idea, he made my son's glasses. My son has, okay, so let me start that over again. If you use Medicaid to get your glasses, you cannot do upgrades and pay the difference. There is a law on the book that says you cannot mix money with Medicaid payments. It's stupid, but it's there. So when I took my son his one pair of glasses, the eye doctor wanted him to have a no-line bifocal, and I couldn't upgrade to a no-line. They wouldn't let me do that. I said, I'll pay the difference. You can't do that. You have to accept whatever frames they offer under the Medicaid. You cannot just generically pick out your own frames. You cannot get transitions because that's not medically necessary. And I love transitions, and I want my son to have transition lenses. So that's kind of why we started coming here. So Paul just made my son's glasses, about a month ago?
About that.
Something like, my son has prisms in both lenses, and he has bifocals. And we bought them from Paul, and they were $300 each pair, but you take out the $75 for the frames, so they were $225. Okay, they were $225. Now, my son's glasses are very thick, and they had to use a special plastic. Okay. So I went last night over to Walmart and I handed them the prescription. I said, how much would these cost to be made here? Okay, so it would have been $180 for the Lindas, $40 for each for the prisms. For the prisms, and then another $85 on top of that to be transitions. So that's $225, I believe, if I did my math. So you saved me $80 a pair of glasses. I can't really do math in my head, but I believe it was $80 a pair of glasses. Now, when I had Paul make my glasses, my last pair at Walmart cost me $500. Paul was able to make my glasses for $250, so I saved 50% off my glasses coming here. So I'm just trying to give you an idea. Each prescription is going to cost different because they're all unique to your own eyes.
That's correct. And it's important to understand that the lab that I purchased the raw materials from charges me
correct
for the various add-ons. And it's also important to know, I think, that you know that I am not involved in any government agency. I am strictly, purely independent.
Right. You take no insurance.
On the side
right.
Because I enjoy doing it now and then.
And you like helping families.
And I know that I'm helping some people who need help.
Right. And you take no insurance and it's cash only.
That is correct.
It's cash or check.
However, if you have some forms that you'd like me to fill out for you, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
But I do not process any insurance. It's strictly cash.
And you keep records. So if I call you up in 2 years and say, how much were my glasses 2 years ago? You can look it up for me because I've had to do that for the court system because I'm a fiduciary for my son. And it's like, oh, crap, I can't find this receipt. Hey, Paul, do you have this? So, but anyways, can you think of anything else? Oh, by the way, Paul happens to be married to a Akron City Councilwoman. Sharon Connor, and that's one of those offices you have to be voted into, correct? Yes. So this is not just like some stranger working out of his house or out of the boot of your car.
I've been doing opticianry since 1977, however long that is, about 45 some years.
Yeah.
So I've had the privilege of working in all ranges of opticianry, where we had fabrication, we've had retail, we've had wholesales. So it's given me experience in all the areas so that I can give the customer the widest range of options possible. So.
And your house is handicap accessible.
It is.
And it has to be. His wife is in a wheelchair, so the whole house is accessible for you.
Yes, we have easy access, and we generally pull the frames out and show them to you right on our kitchen table.
Exactly, yes. So I am going to end here, but this is Paul Connor. Do you have your business card down here? Because I left your other cards upstairs.
Yes, I do.
So I'm going to show you one of his business cards. So just a little more background on Paul that I thought was interesting. He is a licensed pilot, though he doesn't fly anymore. So I thought that was kind of a unique thing. So here is his business card. And I want to say I highly recommend him. You are located how many minutes away from Chapel Hill Mall?
Probably about 5 minutes.
About 5 minutes from the mall? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're about 3 miles straight down Britton Road.
Okay.
And we're off Britton Road by 2 blocks.
And is this Goodyear? This isn't Goodyear. What road is this?
We're in Goodyear Heights. This is Morning View Avenue.
You're right, but the main road that goes by you is
Goodyear Boulevard.
It is Goodyear Boulevard. I could not remember that.
The second block off Goodyear Boulevard.
Yeah. So this is considered Goodyear Heights here.
Yes.
If you remember where the old Kmart was, it's right near there. So, but anyways, this is Becky, and this is a live video. And
I'm speaking with you.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Okay, I am finished. Hey, okay, I'm going to flip this to me really quick. Maybe. Okay, so this is Becky. The first couple minutes kind of cut off, and it got kind of started right into who he is. This is my eye doctor. He's made about 6 pairs of eyes for me. Not my eye doctor, but he's my glasses maker. Optician. Okay. And so we met through a friend, Rose. Rose and I used to bowl in a integrated bowling league with our kids, and she recommended him to me, And I think from there it goes into the video of who Paul is and what Paul has done for me. So I kind of just wanted to give you that little bit of background in case I got missed. We were having trouble with the internet here, and we had to try 3 different rooms before we could get it to work. So anyways, I'm going to let you go. If you have any questions for me, just message me, and I'll find out the answer, and I will Facebook Messenger you. And just for your information, I did start a new Facebook group last night. I believe it's Ohio DODD Independent Providers and SSAs only. So if you check me out on the Facebook group, that's where you'll find me. Bye.